Good morning. I am Dr. Malik. Today we will discuss something about our cholesterol, triglycerides, and combinedly they are called as serum lipids. Serum lipids. See, lipid profile. What is lipid profile? Lipid profile consists of cholesterol, triglycerides, and in cholesterol we have high density, low density, very low density, very low density. Now we will exactly see. First thing is, when are you supposed to get this test done? When are you supposed to get this test done? Number one, you must be fasting for about 12 hours. You must be fasting for about 12 hours. For example, you have taken food at night 8 o'clock. Next day morning 8 o'clock you have to, or after 8 only you must get the lipid profile test. The lipid profile test. Because minimum 9 to 12 hours of fasting is a must. 9 to 12 hours of fasting is a must. So, lipid profile, cholesterol, triglycerides. First of all, see, when you should undergo this test is, first thing they say is when the child is 11 to 12 years. When the child is 11 to 12 years of age, you must get the first test done, because nowadays childhood obesity is on very high rise. So when the child is 11 to 12 years, you have to undergo a lipid profile test. Next, when the child is 17 to 18 years, another time, second time you have to get the test done, lipid profile, that is cholesterol and triglycerides. And after the age of 30 years, every 6 months you have to undergo, every 6 months you have to get lipid profile test done. Okay, see, usually the total cholesterol should not exceed 200 mg. The total cholesterol should not exceed 200 milligrams. The triglycerides should not exceed 150 to 200. It should not exceed 150 to 200. Triglycerides also. And high density lipoproteins, low density lipoproteins, very low density lipoproteins, these are part of cholesterol. See, cholesterol is also called lipoprotein. I will tell you exactly what it is. So there are three varieties: high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein. So high density lipoprotein should be more than 50. Low density lipoprotein should be less than 150, and very low density lipoprotein should be less than 25. Now I will just talk something about this cholesterol. Cholesterol is also called lipoprotein. Cholesterol is not just fat. Cholesterol is called lipoprotein because it has got lipid factor, that is fat and protein. Protein and fat mixed together is cholesterol. There is some amount of fat, there is some amount of protein in lipoprotein, in cholesterol. That is why it is called lipoprotein. So in high density lipoprotein, in HDL, the protein part is more, that fat part, lipo part is low. That is why it is safe to the heart. The protein part is more, the fat part is less in HDL, high density lipoproteins. More than 50 it should be there. It should be there more than 50 in the body. So exercise and all good diet, exercise will increase HDL. So LDL, low density lipoproteins. Low density lipoprotein, this means the fat is more, the protein is less. The fat is more, the protein is less. It should be less than 150. It should not exceed 150 at all. It is better it stays at about 100 or 75 or even at 90, it is better. And very low density lipoprotein, the protein part is very less, the fat part is very high. The fat part is very high, the protein part is very less in this very low density lipoproteins. They should not exceed 25. These are all These are all the part of cholesterol. Cholesterol is also called lipoprotein. Lipoprotein, there are three lipoproteins: high density lipoprotein, low density lipoprotein, very low density lipoprotein. High density lipoprotein, the protein factor is more, fat part is less, and is very good for the body. It is very good for the heart. It is very good for the heart. If you do exercise, if you take very good diet, it will increase. Whereas this LDL and VLDL, low density lipoproteins and very low density lipoproteins, one low density lipoprotein should not exceed 150. VLDL, that is very low density lipoprotein, should not exceed 25. They are not good for the heart. They are not good for the heart. You have to keep it as low as possible. You have to keep them as low as possible. That is very, very, very important. See, cholesterol has got very important role in the body. Cholesterol has got this lipoprotein or cholesterol has got very, very important role in the body, like making hormones and manufacturing vitamin D, and cholesterol is a very good antioxidant, and there is very good energy released from cholesterol. Very intense energy is released from cholesterol. You all know that from fat, 1 gram of fat releases 9 calories. So cholesterol is not, don't see the danger part of cholesterol. Cholesterol is a must in the body. Only thing is, the total cholesterol should not exceed 200 milligrams, and the fractions below, more than 50, less than 150, VLDL less than 25, to maintain like that with exercise, proper food intake. I will tell you all those things. So, but cholesterol is an important part of our daily lifestyle, and it produces hormones. It is very, very useful. It produces hormones, it produces vitamin D3, and it is a very good antioxidant, and it gives very high energy to the body. That is very, very important. Let's go to the triglycerides. See, triglycerides are also very, very, very important. Without triglycerides, the brain has to be given triglycerides for its proper function. Brain hormones are made from triglycerides. So triglycerides, it is the form of fat which goes to the terminal cell from the adipose tissue. This triglyceride goes to the various organs, and it is spent as energy. The fat, the adipose, it comes from the adipose tissue, fat cells, and it also is very, very useful in making hormones, energy, and it is also useful for the brain hormones. So totally body mechanisms depend on cholesterol and triglycerides. Very, very, very important. Only thing is, you should not exceed the level. Triglyceride should not go beyond 200 milligrams, and total cholesterol should not exceed 200 milligrams. These are the steps. But cholesterol and triglycerides, they are not that dangerous. Only thing is, they should be limited in the body. Here, it is very, very, very important that, see, usually there is an old norm that if you eat fats, your cholesterol, your triglycerides increases. It is wrong. It is completely baseless. It is wrong. So if you take fats, if you take oils, if you take good oils and good fats, if you take natural fats, if you take natural oils, see, there won't be any rise in the triglycerides or cholesterol. There won't be any rise in the cholesterol or triglycerides in the body. They ultimately they are useful for the body, and ultimately they are converted to glucose. Only thing is, if you take more, and protein, particularly if you are taking, see, we know after all the latest subject is that fats are not the reason for your high cholesterol and high triglycerides. No. If you are taking good fats, that is natural fats, it never causes a rise in triglycerides or cholesterol. Only thing is, and if you take protein, for example, you are taking protein 1 gram per day, 1 gram per day per kg, 1 gram per kg per day is the requirement of protein of the body. There are only three forms of food. One is fat, one is protein, and the other is carbohydrate. Let's talk about proteins now. The protein intake should be 1 gram per kg per day. 1 gram per kg per day. Suppose you are a 70 kg person, so you must take 60 grams, 60 to 70 maximum, 60 to 70 grams per kg protein per day, not more than that, and not less than that, not less than that, not more than that, because the body requires 1 gram of protein per day per kg. So a 70 kgs man should take 60 to 70 grams of protein per day. Excessive protein is also not good. Excessive protein is also not good because it interferes with the kidney function by producing ammonia. So very important that protein should be restricted to 60 grams, 50 to 60 grams per day. And next we'll come to the carbohydrates. Most importantly, carbohydrates. Plenty of carbohydrates you are taking, like rice, wheat, maida, sugar, and the white rice, sugar, wheat, maida, and your this one, jaggery from sugar cane. These are the main reasons. These are the main carbohydrates you are taking all these days. These are the main 5 types of carbohydrates we are taking all these days, and these are the reasons for the rise in your cholesterol and triglycerides. These carbohydrates are the main reasons for the rise of your triglycerides, for the rise of your cholesterol in the body. First you must understand that. So first thing is, because there is less fiber in these 5, that is wheat, rice, and sugar and jaggery from sugar cane, and maida. These 5 things, if you can avoid, you can definitely reduce your cholesterol and triglycerides, because these 5 foods, they go into the small intestine, release glucose very fast, converted into glucose very fast, and they are pumped into the blood circulation. And the main thing is the circulating blood at any cost does not allow more than 4 to 5 grams of glucose at any given time. The circulating blood will not carry more than 4 grams or 5 grams of glucose. So the rest of the glucose is converted to fats, that is triglycerides, and naturally it is stored in the liver. 20% is stored in the liver. Rest of the 80% keeps circulating in the body, and it goes to various tissues, into the adipose tissue, into all the cells, and these are the fats. That is, these are the fats that are the fats that are coming from your carbohydrates. The fats that are coming from your carbohydrates, they slowly get deposited. The triglycerides, these fats, that is, these are the triglycerides which are made from glucose, which are made from your carbohydrates. They keep circulating. 80% they circulate, 20% only are stored in the liver, and 80% they go to the various parts of the body. And these triglycerides, these fat cells, along with protein, along with calcium, and along with your blood cells, they form plaques. They form plaques in the blood vessels, like heart blood vessels. Heart blood vessels are only 4 millimeter in diameter. So these are the mainly from glucose, from excess glucose, which is coming from your excess carbohydrates. They are converted to triglycerides, and this is distributed in the body, and plaques are formed in the body by these triglycerides, with added protein, with added calcium, and with added cells, blood cells. So These form the plaques in the body, in the blood vessels, and they cause your hypertension, they cause heart attacks, etc., etc. So we must understand that fat consumption is not that dangerous. Healthy fat consumption is very, very safe, whereas carbohydrate should be restricted. Only 4 grams to 5 grams of glucose will be there in the blood at a given time. Only 4 to 5 grams of the blood will be there. It is regulated very well, and rest of the glucose is converted to fats stored in the liver, and various plaques in the body, various blood vessels, it is deposited. It is deposited everywhere in the body, including the blood vessels, like plaques. Be cautious about that. Protein should not exceed, protein should not be less, should not be more than 1 gram per kg per day. That is 60 grams per day. That is 60 grams per day for an average individual. So healthy fat you should take. So what are the healthy fats? Natural fats are very healthy. Unnatural fats, please don't take. Natural fats like non-veg, eggs, and vegetarian, like you can say groundnut, soya bean, etc., etc. But be cautious about cheese, butter. You can take curd, cheese, butter. You can, all these things, they contain fat, you can take. But only thing is, regarding poultry products, be cautious about your hormone injections, hormone and steroid injections, because in poultry they are used a lot. Be cautious about that. So natural fats are very good for the body, and only unnatural fats which are contained in packaged foods. Unnatural fats which are there in the packaged foods should be avoided. Packaged foods, unnatural fats should be avoided. Completely avoid the packaged foods. Including the biscuits, including the chips, everything. No packaged foods at all. Only natural fat should be taken. They are very, very healthy for the body. They are not going to get converted into cholesterol or triglycerides. They ultimately get converted into glucose, but it's a slow process. It's a different cycle, slow process from glycerol. Okay. So unnatural fat should be completely stopped, particularly the packaged food. Alcohol, it definitely damages your heart by increasing your bad cholesterol. That is, your LDL gets increased, your low density lipoprotein gets increased, VLDL, LDL gets increased. HDL decreases with alcohol consumption, should be avoided. Deep fries should be avoided. See, when you are using oil, never deep fry. No, don't use deep fries. They are very dangerous, because any oil in deep fry is converted to triglycerides, and they are carcinogenic. They can cause cancers. They get converted to triglycerides, number one, and number two, you are likely to get cancers in long run. Don't use deep fries. Use only just the food should be fried till there is some water in it. That means should not exceed 120 degrees centigrade. Don't fry anything beyond 120. Below 120 it should be there. So see, if you are doing exercise daily, for example, you are doing gym training or exercise or whatever it is, daily exercise causes afterburn. Afterburn means, if you are exercising, suppose you have exercised for about 45 minutes, half an hour to 45 minutes you have done good exercise, like sit-ups, pull-ups, walking, and cycling. That is exercise or cycle. You have done for half an hour to 45 minutes. That causes afterburn. That means after the exercise, for the next 48 hours, the fats inside the body are burnt. The fats inside the body are burnt. So the calories are burnt. This is called afterburn. Very, very important. So exercise per day, half an hour to 45 minutes is a must. To increase your HDL, to decrease your LDL, to decrease your VLDL. This is a must. So Exercise 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes is a must. And good natural fat should be taken. Good natural fat should be taken. And most important is carbohydrate should be restricted. Carbohydrate should be restricted to 140 grams per day. 140 grams per day. An average healthy adult should not take more than 140 grams per day of carbohydrate. That too, you must take the carbohydrate in the form of fiber. That means millets. For example, you are taking millets. You are taking millets. You are taking salads. You are taking millets. You are taking salads, fruits. These are the things with high fiber. High fiber foods like millets, salads, and fruits. Fiber containing fruits. That will, and that too only up to 140 grams per day. Only 140 grams per day. Restrict your carbohydrate intake to 140 grams per day. Then no harm to the body, because more carbohydrate, more glucose, it is very dangerous. So the carbohydrates you are taking must be high fiber, and this high fiber carbohydrate, it will be eaten by the large colon bacteria. Large colon will be there, that is large intestine will be there. Lot of bacteria are there waiting for fiber. They eat the fiber. They produce low chain, small chain fatty acids, which are very useful for the body. So please, high fiber carbohydrate should be taken. High fiber carbohydrate should be taken, and that also salads, millets, healthy foods, that is high fiber containing foods, very high fiber containing foods. These are the basic things. Please continue this. And protein 1 gram per kg per day, that is 60 grams per day for an average adult. Don't exceed that. And healthy fats, natural fats can be taken liberally. Next we'll come to the basically oils. What are the oils you are supposed to take? Whatever oil you are taking, it is, if you are taking cold pressed oils, olive oil, they say it is the best. Next, coconut, ghee, and this one, groundnut oil and sesame oil. These are very safe, but everybody suggests nowadays to take cold pressed oils only. No, don't take oils from stores in plastic bottles. Please don't take them. The best thing is olive oil is number one, but it is very expensive. Best is take from your nearest cold pressing center. Cold pressed oil should be taken. Don't do any deep fries. Deep fries should be avoided. Whether you are taking ghee or whether ghee should be taken in a proper way, not a contaminated ghee. So ghee, cheese, butter, uncontaminated things you have to take. And oils, cold pressed oils only. Even mustard oil, whether it is mustard oil, whether it is coconut oil, whether it is sesame oil, whether it is groundnut oil, only cold pressed oil should be taken. No deep fries, please. Deep fries should not be about 120 degrees centigrade. Don't fry with oils. That's very important. And naturally, most of the diets nowadays, we see bottles, we see low cholesterol containing and air fried foods. Please try to avoid, because these are only labeled, but they are not really done. So all these labeled foods, packaged foods, please try to avoid. All these labeled foods, packaged foods should be avoided. Any packaged food should not be taken. Okay, only natural fats can be taken liberally. And lastly, diets. See, intermittent fasting is, they say that it is definitely good. Usually night 8 o'clock you are taking food. Next day morning up to 8 o'clock you are not taking breakfast. That comes under intermittent fasting only. Especially you need not do any intermittent fasting, because the long fasting may cause gallbladder stones. That is another problem. So it has got its own positives and negatives. Only thing is, please try to follow every 6 months you have to undergo this lipid profile test, cholesterol, triglycerides, see that your total cholesterol doesn't exceed 200 milligrams, HDL should be above 50, LDL below 150, VLDL below 25, and triglycerides below 200. This is how you try to maintain this with exercise, not with the help of tablets, that is later. See, you are taking statins, that's a different issue. But statins and all, if you are not able to maintain, but usually with exercise and good food, you can control this cholesterol and triglycerides.